Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So good evening, everyone. This is Wednesday, February 25th, and this is the East Long Meadow Board of Health meeting. And we are going to call this meeting to order. The Board of Health is recording. Is anyone else recording? Okay. And we are holding this meeting tonight via Zoom webinar pursuant to executive orders signed by former Governor Charlie Baker, extended by current Governor Maura Healey, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. Are there any other announcements? Okay. With that, do we have the minutes from the January 15th, 2026 meeting. Does anybody have any additions or changes to those minutes, or are we okay to approve those minutes?
I motion to approve as written.
All right, I can second that motion. So the motion to approve is written by Dr. Katie Jobbins and seconded by Christine Johnston. We'll do a roll call vote. Christine Johnston, aye. Dr. Katie Jobbins.
Aye.
And Rebecca Torsha.
Aye.
Thank you so much. Is anyone here for public comment?
Oh, yep. We do have a couple of people that would like to say something.
Fantastic. So when we have public comment, we ask that you state your name and your address, correct, Tammy from East Long Meadow? Is that correct?
Yes.
That I just want to make sure that that is what we're looking for.
And would you like to
Awesome.
stipulate a time limit?
Yes.
Normally, do you
3
want
minutes
90
is
seconds?
usually normal.
I think it's 90 seconds, right?
Three. We have a couple people you said.
Yes, we have 3 people.
Okay. So yeah, I think a maximum of 3 minutes would be fantastic.
Okay. Do you want them to be promoted to a panelist or just allowed to talk?
Just allowed to talk, please.
Very good. I will do so. Okay, Melody, you are up first.
There we go. I think we've got it. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you perfectly.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Just want to make sure. My name is Melody Wolf, and I am from Kalamazoo, Michigan. And I'm here to ask you to follow the current HHS, FDA, and NIDA trajectory on how they're treating kratom. I just returned from the 2026 Kratom Scientific Symposium, where there were regulators and scientists from every U.S. healthcare agency. Our keynote speaker was Dr. Nora Volkow, the director of NIDA. Not one of them said anything about a sales ban or otherwise beyond an age gate. This also aligns with the HHS joint FDA press conference in July of 2025, where I was asked to participate and to speak from their platform. I was asked to talk about the benefits of kratom and how to distinguish it from 7-OH, which I do agree has to be taken off of the shelves. See, I've been a chronic pain patient for over 20 years. 8 of them spent bedridden, needing a walker and even wheelchair at times. My kids were all in elementary school while this was going on. They had to have fans on in their room at night just so they could sleep, to cover up the sounds of their mom crying in pain every night. Our home was pretty dismal, and I didn't find kratom until my youngest was a junior or senior in high school. Now I no longer need mobility aids. I still have pain every single day, but it's purely manageable. And remember I said I went to the symposium? I had to run 15 minutes to the airport to make my connection for my flight, something I would have never been able to do with kratom. And this past summer, my daughter asked me to move in with them again so I could do some full-time childcare, where I spent every single Friday chasing a beautiful, joyful little girl, a 3.5-year-old, around the zoo. The same zoo where my kids used to have to push me in a wheelchair, I was chasing around my granddaughter. So I just ask you to please follow the current trajectory of the healthcare agencies in the United States. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Can we have the next person, please?
Okay. Shannon, you are up.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can,
hear
thank you.
Hi, okay, thank you. Good evening. My name is Shannon. I'm a lifelong resident of Massachusetts. I'm here today to share my testimony regarding the vital role natural leaf kratom has played in my life and to urge you to consider regulation rather than a total ban. In 2017, I suffered from chronic pain so severe that it led to countless ER and doctor's visits and many days out of work. Finding natural kratom has been a miracle for me and many others who seek natural pain relief. It is terrifying if natural kratom is banned. Many whom depend on this natural plant would be left without options or forced to turn to prescribed opioids. Natural leaf kratom is not an opioid. Synthetic 7-OH is dangerous, it's addictive, and should be totally banned. It is not the same as natural kratom. However, natural kratom is a God-given plant that provides pain relief without the risk associated with synthetics or opioids like 7-OH. Recently, Amherst and South Hadley passed their ordinances that regulate natural kratom and ban 7-OH. Also, Rhode Island reversed the ban as of April 1st, 2026, after scientific research was done. Even the FDA announced in their July 29th, 2025 press conference that they are not interested in scheduling kratom, but rather banning synthetic 7-OH. I ask that you please take my testimony into account and the many others whom reached out. A total ban would be devastating to our state and our country, and the many individuals who rely on this natural plant for their quality of life. Please consider regulating natural kratom and banning synthetic 7-OH to protect our access to natural relief. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right. We have one additional person, we said?
Sorry, I'm having issues with my computer. We have two different people.
Okay.
So Jennifer, you are up next.
Hi, yes. My name is Jennifer Gillis, and I reside in Tennessee. And although I live in Tennessee, I feel that I know y'all are having like a preliminary discussion type of thing on kratom, and so I just wanted to voice a few things for the chronic pain community there that may not be aware that this is happening or may not be able to be there and speak for themselves tonight. But I personally, 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with transverse myelitis, and I became a chronic pain patient for the rest of my life. I struggled for years to find relief, and in 2019, I discovered whole leaf kratom powder. It gave me a second chance at life, and because of that, I made a promise to myself to use my voice to advocate for the chronic pain community who might still be looking for relief. There, just a couple things I wanted to mention. There is a significant difference between natural kratom and the 7-OH products. And the growing concerns, reported issues are largely tied to all the 7-OH products. They're being falsely marketed as more pure or potent form of kratom. It's led so many consumers, including even longtime natural kratom users, to unintentionally develop dependence on these highly concentrated products and experience negative consequences. But reasonable regulations like age restrictions, keeping products behind the counter, proper labeling, mandatory lab testing, those are all things that reputable vendors already do now. But the key difference is to get 7-OH products off the shelves. It's not really hard to differentiate the difference. Natural kratom is just a tea leaf that's been ground up into a powder. The 7-OH products are usually in tablet form, and they're bright colored packaging. They have names like Perse or Opia. They'll definitely have 7 displayed really big on the packaging. But I think getting those out of shops is definitely the way to go. But I just wanted to mention those couple of things, and I really do appreciate the opportunity to let me speak tonight.
Thank you very much. And Renee, you said we have one final person?
Yep, we have one final person, Laura. Okay, Laura, you're all set.
Hi, how are you?
Right.
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you, Laura.
Okay. Hey, great. So my name is Laura Romney, and I actually sent you an email a little bit earlier today. I work with the International Plant and Herbal Alliance. It's a nonprofit that works with localities across the United States just to teach them a lot about kratom. I've actually taught a couple of different localities like Fitchburg and Amherst. We've actually done little, trainings where we help answer questions, show them the science, just to help them work on drafting good regulation. But I'm also a chronic pain patient of 14 years. I've been on a daily kratom consumer of the natural leaf powder for 9 years, and as you've heard on some of these others, it really has been a life-changing thing for me. And that's where it's become my passion project in life, to be able to teach others to because it's just a very misunderstood thing. Just again, I know you've heard a little bit talking about the difference between 7-OH or synthetics and natural kratom. Just to make you aware that these 7-OH and synthetic products just came on the market about 2.5 years ago. And so that's when we started seeing this uptick in major problems with, overdoses and with, adverse events and addiction. And they are very different products. Natural plant kratom is actually not an opioid at all. It just tickles those receptors. It does not attach, where the 7-OH products are full opioids. And I was also able to attend that science conference, and I was able to actually hear from Nora Volkow, which is the director of NIDA. She was one of the main speakers. She spoke for an hour about the science surrounding natural kratom versus the synthetics, and how people can use it for, natural pain relief, and also help as a harm reduction tool to get off of, opioids and or illicit substances, and also just even for anxiety. But I really highly ask that you read that email that I sent to you and look at the little videos. You can see where the FDA has specifically stated that they're not after natural plant kratom, that they're really only concerned about the synthetics. And look over, again, the little education PDF that I gave you. There's lots of information, and I would love to be able to schedule a time if you're interested, and we could even do it at a board meeting where, we can, present for like 30 minutes, so you can actually see some of those slides, and you could just ask questions, because I know typically localities have a lot of questions because they're just not familiar with these substances. So anyway, thank you so much for allowing me to speak, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Christine,
problem.
we do have one more person.
Okay.
Okay, Misty, you are all set.
Hi, sorry, I didn't raise my hand in time. My name is Misty Brown, and I am from Thornton, Colorado. And I too attended that the International Kratom Symposium just last week, along with Melody and Laura. I just want to clarify that we are not paid. We are not paid to come here and testify or anything like that. I know that those questions have came up before in Board of Health meetings that we've attended, but I would like to give y'all my personal testimony with, how kratom saved my life. From 2008 to 2019, I lived in the grip of FDA-approved pain pills, benzos, and muscle relaxers prescribed for my degenerative disc disease. For 11 years, chronic pain management fueled my addictions. What started as a dependency slowly slid into a destructive cycle of misuse and despair. In April of 2019, I was dismissed from pain management after failing a required pill count. I was 11 pills short, and my usual drug dealers didn't have any pink Oxytans I needed. Cut off from prescriptions, I turned to the streets in desperation and eventually slipped into cocaine use while searching for another doctor. Then in June of 2019, while suffering through cocaine withdrawal, I stumbled upon the documentary A Leaf of Faith. That single moment changed the course of my life. The very next day, I began my journey with whole leaf kratom, not synthetic 7-OH, by walking into a smoke shop. The kratom was in a glass case, locked up, and I was carded when purchased. Kratom quieted the relentless cravings, the constant voice whispering, one more pill, one more snort, one more escape. For the first time in over a decade, I felt peace. Kratom gave me the space and clarity to confront the deeper reasons behind my addictions and to rebuild my life from the ground up. I have not returned back to pain management over 6.5 years. Today, I'm a thriving mother, a proud first-time grandmother, a functioning member of society, and a tax-paying citizen. Most importantly, I'm no longer a burden to my children. I'm an example of hope and healing. Thank y'all so much for allowing me this opportunity to speak. And if you have any questions, I will be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you very much. All right. Is there anyone else here for public comment?
No, we're good.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate that. So we're going to turn this over to our next item, which is our business at hand. And this is going to be an update on the corrective actions at 41 Pleasant Street, East Long Meadow, in response to the December 19th, 2025 housing inspection. So Tammy, I'm going to turn this over to you real briefly.
Sure. Okay. You know what, Alex, want me to read out the thing and then you read out the letter from Teddy and then you can do the update?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Sorry, Alex, I'm on my phone. I didn't see you. I can't get the whole everybody on the computer at the same time.
No worries.
All right. I'm going to just read out the letter submitted by the occupant Teddy Joe Eaton for February 25th, 2026. To the Code Enforcement Board, I remain deeply concerned about the ongoing health, safety, and habitability issues at this property. Despite the passage of 60 days, there has been no official safety inspection of the basement wiring, no proper cleanup and disinfection of the rodent infestation in the rat attic, no confirmation of functioning smoke and carbon monoxide detectors in the basement, no certified mold inspection, and no resolution of most remaining violations previously identified. I respectfully ask the board to consider the following: requests for attention to these issues that have been made repeatedly over several years. I have been forced to address certain issues personally due to lack of response. I have experienced loss of personal property as a result of these unresolved conditions. I have experienced health concerns that I believe are connected to these ongoing issues. I have suffered financial loss. I do not feel comfortable bringing concerns directly to Angelyn Lind due to her aggressive behavior. These matters have caused significant frustration, stress, and concern for my safety and well-being. I respectfully ask the board to take these violations seriously and ensure that all required inspections and corrective actions are completed promptly and thoroughly. Thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, Teddy Joe Eaton.
Is Angelyn one of the attendees right now? If you are here, can you raise your hand?
Yep. Okay, hold on one second.
Yeah, do you mind letting her in? Thank you.
Hi. Hello, I'm here.
Okay, great. So I had gone out on February 18th with the building inspector just to confirm what had been corrected and what was still outstanding. So if we can just, Tammy had sent the list to everybody, but we can just run down it. So the first item that was corrected was the front porch missing the light bulb. That was corrected. The next item was the rotting wood throughout the front porch, which was caution taped off, but the building inspector did want more immediate action. Angelyn had said that she had purchased lumber for the porch, just obviously weather depending, and she has to submit applications for permitting as well. So Angelyn, you did purchase lumber for the front porch?
I did, and I submitted the permit.
Great. The next item was the gap under the kitchen entryway door, which was corrected, as well as the broken glass window pane in the rear entryway area. And then the kitchen entryway frame that had missing wood and rotting wood, that was also corrected. The attic still, the ceiling and still had missing and loose plaster. The electrical outlet in the downstairs bedroom had been fixed. The bedroom upstairs with the cracked door and broken wood was not corrected. And then the missing outlet cover in the third bedroom, that was corrected. The bathroom window and The living room windows still have not been corrected. And then there was the buckling paint and loose plaster along the sink had been corrected, but not anywhere else in the bathroom. And then on the right side of the basement, the hatchway had been completely sealed off. The building department gave permission to actually close off that whole hatchway. So that had been done. And Angela, you did pull the permits for that as well?
So you can hear me?
Yep.
I'm not really familiar with this too much, but Connecticut Dry Basements, I spoke with them and communicated to them and forwarded your emails regarding the fact that they needed to submit permits for any further work. So they started that work. And
Okay.
any other work that they continue with, which I have a contract with them for, they are going to submit the permits.
Okay. The right side though had been addressed in the basement, but on the left side, the hatchway also needs to be fixed. But you did send a quote for that hatchway.
Yeah, and the windows were replaced in the basement as well as a dryer vent was installed separately to that.
So there was a window that's right above like the sump pump where the old oil tank was that still was open.
Really? So they didn't replace both windows?
Nope, just the one window. There was no
Okay.
work done on the left side.
Yeah, I'll check that.
And then the there was the beam at the bottom of the stairs in the basement still not fixed to the ground, so that needs to be addressed. And then the wiring, were you able to get in touch with the electrical inspector?
Well, you know, we've communicated back and forth via email. I haven't spoken with him directly, but there seems to be this disconnect between the town electrician communicating with my electrician who had requested further clarification regarding any needed repairs.
Okay. I think Will said that he just needs to call him and make an appointment with him. But he's having trouble getting a hold of him, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, initially, that's not what we were told. We were told that the electrical inspector for the town would get in touch with my electrician.
No.
You know what? So at this point, I guess it looks like they need to get in touch with one another directly, and as long as they have each other's numbers, so my electrician can contact the town's electrician, and his name is, because I was given a different name initially. His name is Corey.
Yeah, it's whoever Will said on that last email with the phone number.
Okay. Okay. So I'll have him get in touch with Corey directly.
Okay. So those were the two issues. Those were the issues in basement. Also, there still needs to be. There's no smoke and CO2 detector at the bottom of the stairs in the basement.
Okay. That can be done tomorrow.
Okay. And besides that, I had skipped the baseboard in the kitchen pantry that still needs a cover on it.
Okay. Is that the heater?
Yep.
Okay. I forwarded you the checklist, Alex, that I made that sort of summarizes what needs to be done. That
Yep.
checklist updated.
Yep, and I can send you the updated check. So I sent you the reinspection, and all the items that were corrected have the date. It's not the date actually that you corrected, it's the date that I confirmed that it was corrected. So when I went out on the 18th, it has the date. And then
Okay.
I can't check off the stuff that's like partially done. So, that's why I just made a note that like there still needs to be the CO2 and smoke detector in the basement. One of the windows was fixed in the basement. There's still one window that needs to be fixed. So I can also send you a copy of my list as well. And then the last thing on the list was just the rodent droppings in the attic. And there seemed to be more rodent droppings this time than there was last time. And I know that they're supposed to come out in March, according to the schedule for
Pest control company,
yeah.
Box Pest Control, yes.
But the rodent droppings still need to be addressed, and there seems to be more rodent droppings than last time.
What I was told by Fox Pest Control is that they do not clean up rodent droppings. That's not what they do.
Yeah, and we said that you can someone else can come in and clean them up, but you're responsible for cleaning up the droppings.
Okay.
Okay, so that was everything on my list that still was outstanding and corrected.
Okay, so what I'd like to request an additional 30 days to complete the few interior items. A couple of things like the CO2 detector and the attic ceiling, and additional 30 days due to the limitations of weather, to correct the windows. The front porch landing, there's a company coming on Friday to begin the work. They were actually supposed to come on Monday, but due to the weather, were unable to begin. And I needed to submit the permit. So there are certain things, for instance, Connecticut dry basements, they said they're going to do what they can. There's some, like the window, there's concrete work that needs to be done. The bulkhead, there's some concrete work there. So they have to wait until it warms up a bit before they can continue with their work.
Okay.
Angeline, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Thank you for the work that you have done. And I think we all, know how challenging the weather has been just to do basic maintenance in the last few weeks. So, we appreciate that. Alex, is there anything else that you would like to add?
I don't think so. Like I had stated, the building department wanted the deck addressed much as soon as possible, at least with some plywood over it. But it sounds like that's going to be happening.
Yeah. So they're starting Friday, hopefully, weather permitting. So that would be pretty soon. I mean, I've already purchased the actual wood for the decking.
Okay.
To vote on the extension for the 30 days formally, or?
Yes.
Yeah. And I just want to clarify, she mentioned 30 days for the indoor and then an additional 30 days for the outdoor, so 60 days total? Or
No, you can only do 30 days.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to clarify
Yeah.
that. Okay.
I mean, can I just say something? I think I've really demonstrated, based on the checklist and what we have taken care of, that we're moving forward with the repairs. I'm actually very happy to move forward with this work, to get this work done.
Yeah.
Thank you. If we are doing this, is it, just quick question, is it 30 days from today or 30 days from the date of Alex's inspection?
It would be 30 days from the last 30 days we did. So I have to. When was it extended till last time?
Was it
Or
extended
no-
to the 26th?
Yeah, I think it was this week. I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah. So it would be March 26th.
Okay.
Is that 30 days?
Or
It would-
no, because we have 2 extra days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would actually be it'd be the 28th. Right, because February only has 28 days. Okay. Katie or Rebecca, anything you'd like to bring up or ask Angeline or Alex at this point?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Tammy, when is 30 days? Were you mathing
March
for us?
28th.
March 27th.
Is that what you have? March 27th or March 28th?
When I says 30 days from today, it says March 27th.
So 28th, because it's from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I can make a motion to I just want to make sure I do this correctly. A motion to have a 30-day extension for Angeline Noel to continue corrective actions at 41 Pleasant Street in East Longmeadow. That 30-day period would expire on March 28th, 2026. Is that a full motion, Tammy?
I
Good.
second.
All right. Thank you, Katie. And we'll do a roll call vote. Christine Johnston, aye. Dr. Katie Jobbins,
Aye.
Rebecca Torsha.
Aye.
All right. So Angeline, thank you so much. So we will we'll hope to see significant progress within the next 30 days. Some of those obviously being more critical than others, right? Like the fire and life safety component, like the CO2 and smoke detectors, and certainly hoping to see, significant progress. But thank you for the work that you have done up until this point. We appreciate you being here.
I'm happy to get it done. Okay, thank you so much.
All right, Tammy or Alex, other updates from the department?
I have an old, did I write Kratom as B on there? Oh, no.
No, it was
That
not on it.
you know what? The one that I sent you actually wasn't the correct, wasn't the actual posted one, and B should be Kratom and C should be health department updates. But seeing as we only have 6 minutes left before we're getting booted off, I just wanted to say B should be Kratom. The one I did not send you the right one. Looking at it now, it's been a topic that's come up a lot, so I figured I'd bring it up today. I applaud everybody for calling in and giving their opinions on the and their testimony. But it's just been a topic that's come up a lot, so I figured we could kind of start the conversation today, see if it's something the group wants to pursue into looking to regulations on Kratom. After we had FBI investigations into a smoke shop, and when our tobacco inspector did follow up, she had found a lot of items in there, and some of it being the synthetic kratom. And I know that some of the town councilors also were concerned about what it was and what it's doing in town. So that happened, and then the state actually next week is doing they're doing a kind of mini training, not training, but I guess a kind of power hour on kratom in Massachusetts. And then actually a bunch of towns recently have started to put those regulations in place. One of them being Northampton, who she was very gracious, Meredith O'Leary, who is also our director for our Pioneer Valley Tobacco Coalition. She shared her regulation that I think it was in October that they actually put that in place. And Meredith is actually going to be speaking next week at this at this Power Hour. It's through the Massachusetts Environmental Health Association. And it's her and then Cheryl Sabara, who's with MAHB, who does a lot of legal work for public health in Massachusetts. But I know I sent you guys a whole bunch of information and we had a lot of emails. And I'd say that looking through them, there's a lot of information. There's a lot of opinion. So I feel like being able to kind of parcel out what is the most important stuff for us, and what's the most important stuff for what people have access to in East Long Meadow, I think is going to be a little bit of a job. But I think that it's something that we probably should be taking on because it looks like a lot of other towns are having the same thing with the synthetic kratom products. So that's really kind of all I wanted to bring up today. Nothing big on that, but gauge your interest in putting that together. I know that the town council is also interested in seeing where this would go as well. So that's kind of all I really had to say about that.
Thanks, Tammy. I know personally, I was like, oh, I'm going to have to do some research right before I think I'm capable of like really engaging in thoughtful discussion around any of this. I don't know how Rebecca or Katie, how you felt.
I immediately reached out to a colleague of mine who's an addiction medicine specialist. And he's like, would you like me to send you some articles? I was like, that would be great. But my takeaway is that even the non-synthetic products interact with other medications people take. And that's, I think, for me, one of the scariest things is that as a physician, oftentimes some people will be on supplements which are not regulated by the FDA, which kratom would fall into that category and is not regulated. And it would potentially have risks. I definitely think we should talk about some of the synthetic restrictions that other towns have put into place, and also just making sure people are educated around that part of it. The other part that's really concerning is this is now I don't know how many times that the same organization has gotten in trouble for doing things off the books, which I do think that is something we do need to address in the future.
Yeah, I think it's a red flag. Huge. I mean, that's a big deal. It just seems to keep escalating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dangerous. What are we, waiting for something,
well, we're
worse
just,
to happen.
I believe that we're waiting for the end of the appeal period for their revocation of their liquor license. And then I'm not exactly sure what the town is going to do next. But I'm sure it might involve us. But we'll figure out that to come. But I'm really glad that the Tobacco Coalition did agree to do an education check just so that we kind of get some eyes and ears on what's going on in town. And obviously, like if we do end up moving forward with any type of regulation, would need help and assistance with making sure that we know and can identify the synthetic products. Towards the end of the day, I did actually get completely separate. Like I said, it has just been very buzz-worthy topic. I did receive actually an email from Franklin Regional County of Governments about some of the things that they've been dealing with kratom and other synthetics. So I'll forward you guys on that information as well. But that's kind of exactly what I just wanted to bring up today. I don't have any real other health department minutes updates that I could do in the next 1 minute. Other than next Monday, we'll kind of be doing the same thing. It's going to be another housing inspection request.
I assume through Zoom, right?
Through Zoom. Yes,
Zoom,
through
and
Zoom.
it's 3:30.
3:30 through Zoom.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna still have to post and send all the information out to the interested parties.
And you'll send us a calendar invite for like usual?
Yeah, that should be out tomorrow.
Okay, great.
And I'll get all that out. And hopefully that will be quick as well. And I won't add anything else surprising on to it, guys. Did not intend that this ended up being such a hot button topic.
Well, that's why I was confused. I'm like, the agenda doesn't have Kratom on it. Why are we talking about Kratom? I'm so confused.
Because the moment we put anything on the internet, it links up to it. Like I said, when we get like when we say tobacco, we get so many people emailing
The
about
violation
tobacco.
at that facility now makes sense, but I was like, what?
But if you read the letter that the liquor commission, the license commission sent to them, like there's a list of violations, you know, underage alcohol sales. And I mean, obviously we had a lot of issues before, when it was under a different name. So anyway, but tomorrow I will be putting all that together. So you guys will get all that tomorrow. And
We have to motion to adjourn because someone else needs the Zoom.
yep, another big meeting after ours.
Can we, in the next minute, we obviously have to meet before March 28th.
But can we decide that on Monday?
Yeah, can we decide that on Monday? Do we have to do that today?
Sure, we can decide it on Monday.
Okay.
Because we might need to have them double meet. We might have to just combine those two together.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will be a good idea.
All right, so our next meeting will be Monday afternoon at 3:30 for the interested parties on another housing issue via Zoom. And then I will motion to adjourn the Board of Health meeting for tonight.
I second that.
All right. Christine Johnston, aye. Dr. Katie Jobbins.
Aye.
Rebecca Torsha.
Bye.
See everybody on Monday.
Thank you guys so much.
Stay
Bye,
warm.
ladies. Yep.